All right. All right, listen. You guys can have your notes out, but we are not going to use it at first, okay? Right now I'm handing out a note card. All right, don't do anything with that note card right now until I tell you. But this is what I would do. If you have, I would see if you can get 3 different colored of like pens, or have a pencil, because that could help you out a little bit. I'm going to put here one for. See, maybe your neighbor does. Maybe just see if you don't have 3 different colors, that's okay. But 3 different colors, that I mean, you're writing your own notes. It doesn't have. You don't have to. 2 is fine. All right, but if you have 3 different colors, that would work out perfect. If you have 2, that's fine. If you use 1, that is okay as well. All right. So the thing that we're going to be going over today, so if you have your notes out, you can put it on top, okay? But this is going to be 5.4. We're going to be talking about special right triangles. I don't know why I capitalized that. Did you guys hand them back? I've been using it for every class. Oh, I have 2. It switched out. It just wasn't charged. Okay, so all of you have your note cards. So when we talk about special right triangles, okay, when we're talking about right triangles, what's one angle have to be? 90 degrees, okay? And then what do all the angles have to equal? 180, okay? We're going to talk about 2 specific triangles, all right? And based on their angles. So you have your note card. I'm going to just go ahead and draw a box, and this is what your note card looks like, okay? In the top corner, the first one that we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about 45, 45, 90 triangles, okay? So write that in the top left. Yep. Right, and don't write it too big. Remember, we have to cover this, use the whole note card. Just use one color right now. Okay? So, 45, 45, 90 triangle. These are going to be the angles of the triangle that we are talking about. Okay? So, if I have 2 angles that are the same value, what triangle is this? Like, what can we say about it? Yeah, it's an isosceles right. Okay? So, now I'm going to have you draw a triangle. Okay? You're going to do, we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to draw out. Just use the same color as you did in the top corner. I'll tell you when to switch colors because I'll switch on my tablet. Okay, so draw a triangle just like this. All right, leave a little room down here. Leave some room up here. Okay, we're going to put stuff down here, over here. Okay, so make sure you leave some room. Okay, now a lot of this at the beginning, we're just going to be writing this stuff, and then I will show you how to solve these. But with these 45, 45, 90 triangles, we're going to be given one side, and we can figure out the values of the other 2 sides. Okay? Side. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little angle mark right here because those are congruent. And I'm going to put 45 here and 45 here. Now, same colors. Notice how I didn't change my color? I'll change the color on my tablet so you guys know when to switch your color. Okay? Now, pay attention to this part, okay? before you write this, just make sure you know what you're writing. I'm going to put a 90 right here, okay? That's not telling me the value of that side is 90, but that's telling me it's the side across from 90 degrees, okay? So that's the side across from 90 degrees, so that's going to be our largest side. So I'm just going to put that as the 90 right there, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other two sides. And put 45, because those are across from our 45-degree angles. All right, so just know, those aren't the values, it's the what's across, the side across from what angle, okay? So, what we're going to do is on the top right corner, okay, you are going to put x in the same color, x square root 2, okay? That's just separating, like that's telling us it's in the same order as the 45, 45, 90. Okay? And then the bottom right, I'm going to put 1, 1, square root 2. Okay? So what this is going to end up saying at the end is if you look at the top right, we have x times square root 2. Let's say our value for one of the sides of 45, let's say the value right here was 2, okay? If this value is 2, and that's the side of, if this side is 2, then our other 45, what does this side have to be? 2. So 2 and 2, and then when we get to the side across from 90, it's going to be 2 square root 2, okay? Now, it'll get a little bit more complicated than that, and we'll solve some questions together. Okay, but that's what those variables are stating. And then on the bottom, it's the ratio. So it's like those values of 45, okay, and then that value of the across from 90. All right. Now you can go ahead and change the color of your pen. Okay, and I'm going to use blue. Okay, now be careful how I draw this. But I'm going to put this right here, okay? And on this side, I'm going to put equals, okay? Because that's just telling me that those two values are going to be equal to each other. Okay, so those two values are equal to each other. Now, when we go from our side from 45 to 90, notice how I'm only putting one arrow. I'm going to go from here to here and just put an arrow right here, okay? And I'm going to put times square root 2. Okay? And then I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other 45. Times square root 2. Okay? Now, change to that last color if you are. I only have red, I don't have green. Now, let's say we have our value of 90 and we have to get our value of the 45-degree sides. What we have to do is I'm going to go from 90 to 45, and I'm going to do this inside the triangle. Okay? I'm going to have to divide by square root 2. I'm going to do the same thing for this one right here. Divide by square root 2. Okay? All right, and then this is it for 45, 45, 90 triangles. Now, it's going to look like a lot, but you're going to use this to help you be able to solve. So let's go ahead and let's look at some examples before we move on to the other special right triangle. Okay, and let's start with this one. Now, This one's going to look interesting because it says the figure below is a square, and we need to find the length, okay, of side x in simplest radical form. Now, pay attention that it's simplest radical form, all right, because that's why we were doing some of that yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, you can put this on your regular notes. You don't need to write this example on your note card. Okay, when we have a square, okay, every angle of a square is 90 degrees. Okay, if it is cut, what do these values become? Yeah, they become 45. Okay, and then this is my 90 right here. All right. Now, you don't have to change colors. I'm just changing colors so you can see it. Okay, but we need to solve this 45, 45, 90 triangle. So I went ahead and drew the angles. If this value is 10 right here, all right, what angle is across 45 from 10? It's 45. Okay, what would if I said this is y? What would y equal? No, it would equal 10. Okay, because this value is 10. Now, I need to get across from the 90-degree angle. How do I go from this side to get to here? What do I have to do? I need to look at your little note card. We have to multiply by square root 2. Now, I have 10 times square root 2. Can I combine those? So my answer is 10 square root 2. Well, like, so see, one of them's a square root, one of them's not, so you can't times them by each other. But if this was square root 10 and this was square root 2, then it's 10 times 2, then it's square root 20. Okay? Do you have questions on that one? Yeah. We're not going from here to here. Okay? Now, if I were to look at this the opposite way, all right, and I had that this x was 10 square root 2, in order to find our 45, what would we do from here to here, even though we already know it's 10? We would have to divide it by square root 2. Okay? Since we have a square root 2 on top and a square root 2 on bottom, these would just cancel out. That leaves us with 10. Okay? Did you guys have a question, someone? Yeah. It's across from the 45. Oh, because the square is 90 degrees if it's cut in half. What's 90 divided by 2?
Oh, okay. I don't understand.
Let's look at this one. This one. All right, I'm going to put a y right here. We're going to find x and y. Listen. All right, let's gather together. Let's listen. On this one, all right, my square root 10, is this across from 45 or is it across from 90? It's across from 45. Okay, if I need to find y, what can I do from here to y? Yeah, they're the same. So, yeah, y would also be square root 10. Now, what do we have to do when we go from our 45 to our 90? Okay, times square root 2. So we have square root 10 times square root 2. Can we multiply those, Adam? Can we combine these? Yeah, so what would that become? Yeah, square root 20. All right, is this my answer? I'm hearing a little yes and no. Why not, Maddie? Yeah, because we can simplify square root 20. So square root 20, I can take out a square root 4 and a square root 5. Which one simplifies? 4. So my answer is what? Perfect. Okay? Yeah, not too bad right now. right now. No, just... All right, let's go back to the note card. Okay. Now, go ahead and flip your note card. All right, and I'm going to draw. I'm telling you, the colors on here are not as good as you think. I can only do black, red, blue, gray, or white. Why? Just write on it and then you can tape it or staple it later. Okay, so I know 45, 45, 90 seems simple, okay? This one's going to be a little bit more difficult, so make sure you listen. All right? This is what you're going to put on the top. 30, 60, 90. This time it is not an isosceles. We have 3 different angles. It's a scalene, yep. We have 3 different angles, so we have 3 different values of sides. Okay. Here's my triangle this time. Okay. I'll give you a second to write this. Yep, I got 30, 60, 90. Now, here I'm going to go ahead and just give you these little ratio things in the corners, the top right corner. It's going to be x square root 3, and 2x. Okay, on the bottom right corner, it's going to be 1 square root 3, 2. All right. If you don't ever use those corners, it's okay. If it doesn't make any sense to you, that's okay, but maybe it might, okay? Well, if you flip back over to the 45, 45, 90, okay, it's just saying whatever value the x is, if it's a 45, the other 45 is the same, and then whatever number that is, it just goes in front of the square root 2. Okay, but it's okay if it doesn't make any sense. I just want to show you guys what that ratio is. So go ahead and flip it back over to your 30, 60, 90. Okay? It's okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and write these numbers right here so it shows across from my 90, across from 30, across from 60. And then I'm going to change the color. Okay? Okay, so this one, pay attention to because this one we can't just go like in a circle. So let's say we have our value of 30. If we are going from our 30 to our 90, guess what? We just multiply by 2. Yeah. No, don't think of it as 30 times 2. Do not think of it as 30 times 2. Okay? So if the value of the side right here, don't write this down. I'm just saying, if this is 4, what do you think our value of the 90 would be? What's 4 times 2? 4 times 2 is 8. So that would be this side. No. Okay, the 90, that's just telling us it's the angle. This is the side across from 90. We'll do some examples. Yeah. 30 is not the actual side. It's just telling us across from 30, that's the smallest side right there. Okay, so you notice this is the smallest side because this is the smallest angle. All right, our largest side is across from 90 right here. So going from smallest to largest side, you just multiply by 2. What? But not all of the sides are the same value. We'll just move on. Okay. If we're going from our 30 to our 60, so our across from 30 side to across from 60 side, I'm going to write my arrow a little higher. We have to multiply by square root 3. Oops, I don't know what just happened there. It's math. It's pretty awesome. Math. It's everywhere. Maybe that's your question to answer. Yeah. Are you doing it right now? Is it real life right now? There you go. Now, when we do 30, 60, 90, okay, we can never go from 60 to 90 or 90 to 60. Because there's no possible way. So, if we start with our 60 side and we had to find our 90 side, we would have to go to 30 first and then go to 90. Okay? If we start with 90 and have to go to 60, we'd have to go from 90 to 30 to 60. Okay? So, go ahead and change your color. All right, here's the last color because this is going to show the dividing part. If we go from our largest side to our smallest side, all we do is divide by 2. So if our largest side has a value of 16, what would our smallest side be? 8. Okay, perfect. Now, when we go from 60 to 30, we're going to divide by square root 3. Okay, do we have any questions? Mm-hmm. It's a question for you to answer. Okay, let's do some examples. I don't want that to be red. I don't have orange. I don't know. All right, in your notes, go to your notes now. If you want to draw this triangle, go ahead and draw it. But let's pay attention and do an example together. Yeah. This is, all right, listen, let's stop talking, okay? This is going to be an example of one of our 30, 60, 90s. So, the value of 3 down here, okay? What angle is across from this side? 30. So this is going to be our smallest side. Let's find x first. If we are going from our smallest side to our largest side, what do we have to do? Times it by 2. So what's 3 times 2? X equals 6. Okay? Perfect. Now, let's solve for y. What happens when we go from our across from 30 to our across from... No. It's 3 times square root 3. Can we combine those? So our answer for y is... There you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, here's something that can help you. Okay, if you cannot figure out, I can't remember if I divide or if I multiply. Okay, Well, do you remember when we did the angle side relationship when it was like if it had the smallest angle, then across from that's the smallest side? Okay. Whenever you're going from a smaller side to a bigger side, you multiply. Whenever you go from a bigger side to a smaller side, you divide. Okay, so if you want to write that in your notes, write that into your notes. If you go from a smaller side to a bigger side, you multiply. If you go from a bigger, or if you put larger, if you go from a larger side to a smaller side, you divide. Okay? So if you're taking your test, all right, or your quiz, and you're like, shoot, I can't remember if I multiply or divide. Think of this. If you're going from a larger side to a smaller side, divide. Smaller to larger, you multiply. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and look at another example. Ooh, and let's look at this one. Now, this one, it doesn't tell us the value of the angles. But what does it tell us? What kind of triangle is this? No. What kind of triangle does it say it is? It's equilateral. So, if it's an equilateral triangle, what do all the angles equal? They equal 60. Yeah, which is, they all equal the same thing. So this is 60. This is 60. Well, this one's cut in half, so what would these two angles be? 30. And this would be 30. So what kind of triangle am I working with? No. Scalene. But is this a 45, 45, 90? It's a 30, 60, 90. Okay. So this time, square root 7 is our starting point. Is that, what angle is that across, or what side is that across from what angle? 30. Okay, let's find x. Okay, what do I do when I go from across from 30 to across from 90? Multiply it by 2. Square root 7 times 2. Can I combine those? So what's my answer? And that's x. Now let's just find, I put a y here, let's just find y for fun. What do I do when I go from across from 30 to across from 60? 7 times square root 3. Can I combine these? Square root 21. Can square root 21 be simplified? No. 9 is not divisible by 21. So this is our answer for y. Yeah, y is. Yeah, that's why I put that arrow. Okay, do we have questions so far? Now, if you've noticed, pretty much all of these we've done multiplying. So I think I have some examples of dividing next. All right, this one. Okay. This one. If it is a square, what triangle are we going to be talking about? 45, 45, 90. Okay, because all the sides or all the angles of a square are 90. Then it's split in half here and here. So these are 45 and 45. So I have the value of 4 right there. Now, is the value of 4, that side, what angle is it across from? 90. What do I have to do when I go from across from 90 to across from 45? Okay, so pay attention here, okay? Because we haven't divided by square roots. 4 divided by square root 2. Now, this is not my answer, okay? Because we cannot have square roots on the bottom of a fraction. So we have to get rid of it. No. Yeah, we'll get there. So, in order to get rid of a square root, okay, in the denominator, we have to multiply. both the bottom and the top by square root 2. You're going to multiply it by whatever's down here. Okay? So, when we do that, okay, what does that leave me with on the top? 4, I'm going to put square root 2. What about the bottom? Well, what's 2 times 2? So I have square root 4. Can that be simplified? Yes, I'm going to move it down here. So square root of 4 is 2. So now I have 4 square root 2 over 2. Am I done? No, because what can I do? Nope. I can't do anything with my square root in the 2, but I can simplify 4 and 2. What can I take out of both these numbers? I can take out 2. So when I do that, what does that leave me with? 2 square root 2. We'll talk about that later. Okay? Okay, do we see what we did there? If I said this is y, how do we find y? Yeah, it's the same thing. Because they're equal. No, you have to show your work. Yeah, you have to show your work. So you guys have to show your work on this. All right? If you do this problem, all right, does everyone have that written down? So if you were given this question, all right, and this is what you write, I will count it wrong. Okay, because how do I know how you got that? All right? No. I know you can just get it from, well, but you have to show your work. Because how do I know you just didn't take that from Carrie? No, you need to show your work so I know what you're doing. All right, let's look at this one. All right, what kind of triangle is this? 45, 45, 90. What do I do when I'm going from this 12 to find x? So do we multiply or divide? I need to divide. Okay, so I have 12. Whoa. I don't know why that just happened. Give me 1 second. So I have 12 divided by square root 2. Can I have a square root on the bottom? Nope. So what do I have to do? The top and the bottom by square root 2. What does that give me on the top? What about the bottom? Yep, this becomes square root 4, which is 2. Can I simplify this? And what does that become? Perfect. Okay. Twelve divided by 2 is 6 square root 2. You gotta show your work though. We'll talk about what's on it. I don't do this one on your own. Just do it on your own. Don't just say you don't know. Use your note card.
How do we divide
I know this one's a little tricky. Huh? Because we did that. Is this all your notes? Because we did that here. You did square root 10 times square root 2.
Oh, is that the answer?
Mm-hmm.
I said thankful.
Mm.
Ooh, I got English.
All right, would you guys like 30 more seconds to solve? Okay, I'll give you 30 more seconds. Yep. Oh.
Because we got here and I was like, what do we
I
do?
know, why didn't you just stop there?
Oh, I don't know. Because it didn't feel right.
It is right. No, you're good. All right, let's discuss this one. Okay, so we know it's a 45, 45, 90. Okay, what do I have to do when I'm going from square root 5 to x? I need to divide by square root 2. So I have square root 5 divided by square root 2. Okay, what do I have to do to get rid of the square root on the bottom? What does that give me on the top? And what does it give me on the bottom? Square root 4, which is 2. Can I simplify this anymore? Nope. This is my answer. That's my answer. Did you get that? There you go. Okay. Nope, don't put a square root there. It's just 2. Well, then cross it out and make sure. You times it by square root 2. What's the square root of 4?
This is the only class where I actually got stuff
Let me find a.
None of my teachers were posting for this class, so I was like primary, I couldn't do it. Oh my gosh, primary.
Sorry, I'm trying to find a good 30, 60, 90. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. Last one. We'll do two more. This one. The triangle below is an equilateral. Okay? If this is an equilateral and it's cut in half, what kind of triangle does this give us? Okay, so this one's tricky. Can I go from here, from my across from 60 to across from 90? No. I have to go to the 30 first and then solve for x. So, how do I go from across from 60 to across from 30? I need to divide by square root 3. Across from 60 to across from 30. So I have 9 divided by square root 3. So let's do this one. Can I have a square root on the bottom? So what do I have to multiply by? Square root 3. On top, that gives me 9 square root 3. What does that give me on the bottom? No. 3 times 3 is 9. What's the square root of 9? Can I simplify this? Yes, I can, guys. What's 9 divided by 3? Oh my gosh. So this is 3 square root 3. I need to find x. How do I go from across from 30 times 2? So I have 2 times, okay, and we can only combine our like terms. So 2 times 3 is what? 6 square root 3. That's this. This. Because from here to here, we have to divide by square root 3. Because that's just what we do on the note card. Look at your note card. So you just divide by square root 3 from across from 60 to across from 30. All right, here's the last example. Do this one on your own. How to what? Oh. Yeah. On that one we did. So like we went from 60 to 30, so that's why we followed this arrow. No, we didn't. This is the 60, because across from 60. We found the across from 90. So we divided by square root 3 to get here, and then we multiplied by 2. Don't work on this yet. Oh, okay. Just 1 second, because this is our last one. All right, this one. All right, what kind of triangle is this? 30, 60, 90. How do I go from square root 12 to x? What do I do? So divide by 2. What's square root 12? Divide by 2. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you the rest of the time to work on homework. Don't forget to simplify when you need to simplify. I think we can simplify this one. Give me 1 second to turn this off.